Welcome back, guys. This is Acid Root. So this is the immediate conversation after that boss fight that we just had. I didn't show the ending of it just because I ran out of space on my computer, but this is what follows. Just a brief little conversation. There's nothing more else to do. I mean, there's been plenty of stuff if you watched the last episode that happened. So this is kinda, we got a new entry, but before that we have like a transition to kind of cover that's going to take a handful of episodes. So this kind of happens to be the thing. We're going to learn about Sephiroth, which the game has done a decent job of hiding from us up until this point. I mean, really, it was kind of thought at the beginning of the game, it was thought that the main enemy was this President Shinra. But, you know, interestingly enough, I don't know how they would have handled that if Shinra would have wound up being the main villain. Probably, it was just fighting the government. That's all it would have really become. It would have been pretty political if that had been the case. But no, Sephiroth is a true terror. But right now we have multiple enemies. I'm very interested as to how the rest of this game is going to pan out. But for now, let's just keep the morale of the team going. So, kind of the situation. But after this, you're going to see some towns that are more in the classic sense of Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy I and the rest of them. It just hasn't been like that up to this point. I'm almost under the impression where that doesn't really bother me, because I enjoyed the beginning segment of the game. Even the library sequences, the whole thing, I mean, it was pretty interesting. I hope there's more towns like that later. I mean, even though Midgar is thought to be ruining the world, that's kind of Squaresoft's way of saying, like, we're thinking about changing Final Fantasy, but not quite. The rest of the game characters like the old style, but I don't actually mind Midgar too much, is what I'm trying to tell you. So, I liked, like, Eris's town and Barrett's town and all those places. I don't remember what they're called now. The Avalanche hideout with Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse and all that. Tifa was there, too. So. I've been using my PlayStation 2 a lot lately. That's been the one. I mean, apart from like my NES Classic, that's the only other console that I've been using this much. Been watching movies on it, and then doing gameplay for Final Fantasy VII, and eventually I'm going to do Tomb Raider. That's something I'm trying to fire up if I could get past it. I can't. I mean, I did like the first stage and got killed by the bear, and there's just no way to fight that thing unless you're from a distance, so I'm going to have to learn a technique to beat that guy, or else I'm not going to be able to do the game. And I want to. I've owned Tomb Raider for, you know, more than a few years now, so I'd like to beat that game and prove that I can actually do it, but it just, right now it's just not in the cards, but I'm still going to attempt it. And then I also have gotten Prince of Persia for the Super Nintendo, so the Super Nintendo is going to come back with a vengeance. And I still have to get back to my old save file on Super Metroid. But for now, it's just going to be those three games. This one, Tomb Raider, and then Prince of Persia. So, but yeah, apart from like the PlayStation games I've been messing with, I've also been watching comedies on the PlayStation 2, getting shit from the library. It's fun. It's so relaxed. I mean, that's the thing. It's not like overly ambitious, which a lot of things have been trying to be this year. It just feels like everyone kind of has a jalapeno in their tailpipe, and I'm one of the few people that doesn't. Just don't give a fuck, you know. I'm not trying to. I mean, having a corporate sense of mind works to a certain degree, but it's just not the time of year for that sort of thing. So, I guess I could share this comment. I saw, like, Baby Bash is a musician that I kind of enjoy, but sometimes I don't like his attitude. But one of his followers said some comment to the effect of, like, any person over the age of 18 should not be playing video games. He feels like you're basically a child if you're over 18 and you play video games. And it doesn't matter if it's PS5, PS4, any. He just said any game console he felt that way for. So he just feels like you have your, like, priorities misplaced. I kind of was annoyed by the comments, so I didn't read it the whole way, but that was to the effect of what he said. And I was just like, those people are they're just full of shit, you know. Any person who took seriousness in that sort of comment, I mean, what they were trying to convey, Baby Bash and his followers were trying to convey, is that money is more important than video games. But I mean, if you are the sense of person that just enjoys them, I don't think there's any truth to saying that you can't play video games past the age of 18. Because definitely, I mean, the thing about it is just the fact that M-rated games are for 17 and up, so it's kind of, I mean, you're not supposed to play M-rated games until you're past the age of 17, so it's kind of, there's just no logic in what these folks are saying. But so I don't know, I hope to attract people that don't like video games that much either. I mean, if you know, have tattoos and full-time job and are worth more than $10,000 or $25,000, you know, I recommend you still watch this, because this is an all-time great, which is just kind of the situation. I wouldn't care if Baby Bash, or not Baby Bash, but Baby Bash or some of his circle watched this and was just kind of like, hell, you know, the guy that did Cyclone with T-Pain and Baby I'm Back with Akon, I mean, he's been here for a while, so it's kind of the atmosphere. But I don't know, I'm kind of getting fed on Instagram, which is just kind of the situation. Is Instagram is, I mean, it's just their mentalities that get so tiresome. Some of these people preach this crap like every single person should adapt to this mentality, and it's like, you know, it's not just freedom of speech, it's freedom of mind. I mean, I don't care if a person has like 50 followers or 500,000 or even 100 million. It just doesn't matter. I mean, Kim Kardashian says stuff all the time, but I'm not about, if Kim Kardashian was like, you know, I'll see to it that every guy gets a blowjob that gets the tattoo that I got. It's like, I don't know if I would do it. You know, there may be people who would actually do that sort of thing, and this is just an example, so don't get all, you know, doofy about it, but that's just kind of, it's what it is. So, but yeah, so if you're paying attention to the game, if you're trying to follow what the game's going on, so basically Cloud has some knowledge on Sephiroth, and they kind of have like a rivalry / grudge just because, and you're going to find out why, but Cloud was actually in Soldier with Sephiroth. So Cloud joined the war because he wanted to be a hero like Sephiroth, and Sephiroth was a hero up to this point, and so this is like the backdrop of one of their sagas that they had. So, and it's actually kind of interesting. I mean, it's dark. It's definitely dark for a T-rated game, and not that I give a shit, but yeah, you'll see it. I mean, Sephiroth has similarities to Kefka, if you know who that is, so it's kind of the thing. Which is good, I mean, because Final Fantasy, maybe not the early ones, but the later ones could really show off the penchants for evil that some of these characters had, especially in 3D. So, but yeah, I've got some more movies coming by from the library. I'd like to get them pretty soon. I'm gonna have to. The problem with it is they're in transit with the, you know, the COVID crap. It just is kind of, you know, I mean, obviously they probably only make like one trip a day as opposed to like 3 or 4 like they used to. So, but I do have a couple of movies, one of which I'm trying to get is The Wedding Singer by Adam Sandler. I never actually saw that. So it's PG-13, so it's this, I mean, I like rated R movies, but I like PG-13 comedies. It's kind of a rom-com, but I'm starting to get used to those. I've seen movies like Shallow Hal, and those kind of movies are simple enough to watch, so I'm kind of understanding a better sense of comedy, and it's helping with like schematics for me for acidic roots. So I've watched a handful of comedies this year. I'm trying to remember what, but yeah, I don't remember. Stuff of that nature. I need to watch the Beavis and Butthead movie again. Beavis and Butthead Do America. That's just such an easy movie to watch. I mean, it's so affable. It's so, like, it could be on almost any point in the movie, and I'd probably still tune in to watch it just because it's them. I really wish that there would have been a sequel. They said that there was going to be. That's like a fun fact about Beavis and Butthead, is there was going to be a sequel, and like Todd was going to be in the movie, but they just never did it, which sucks. It does. It's like The Mask 2 with Jim Carrey was never made. They actually had cast Jim Carrey, and they might have even filmed like a small amount, but it's never happened. So yeah, just pay attention to how tough Sephiroth is. This thing wipes out Cloud instantly. So I would almost estimate that I'd have to say I bet you Sephiroth probably would have more HP than that, than 3,200. He'd probably have more like 7,000 or 8,000 or something, considering how tough that he is. It just doesn't make sense. Because by the time our characters get to 3,200 and shit, that's probably going to be like level 50 and level 60 and stuff. I'd probably say that like Cloud at level 50 probably would still struggle with Sephiroth at where he's at by the end of the game. So I don't know if Sephiroth gets stronger by the end of the game, but we've got 3 discs to find out if he does. But then, of course, they said that that was 5 years ago, so Sephiroth probably has gotten stronger since then. But this is Cloud's hometown. You're able to talk to these soldiers in a little bit, which is pretty dope. So yeah, there's going to be another episode of Final Fantasy showing up soon. I have enough to kind of get further in like the cutscene, but after this it does get dark. So that's kind of the thing, is it's not like dark like it's troublesome, but it's just kind of, you know, you'll see. I do like the dialogue in this game. That's kind of the situation, is I mean, there's really not dialogue too often that just feels like it shouldn't be in the game. I mean, even characters that you're only going to talk to like a total of 1 or 2 times in the whole game, they still have something to say. Like, just like Biggs and Wedge, for example. I mean, they die within like the first couple hours of the game, but you still got enough about them. Like Wedge, I think the fatter one, I don't know if it's Biggs or Wedge, but the fatter one liked to eat, and he liked Tifa's cooking. And then Biggs was kind of, well, I don't know, I don't remember. There was just enough about them that they enjoyed being an Avalanche, and they were decent comrades for like Barrett. And Jessie liked Cloud secretly, even though he was only there for like a couple missions. So she liked him pretty quickly, but so yeah, so alright, that concludes it, folks. We've only got like another 15 seconds, so stay tuned for part 29. We've got more good stuff coming. Stay tuned with the channel. Have a wonderful night. Subscribe for more fun. Thanks for watching.